Hey, shalom, shalom. We're gonna start just 1 second. Shalom to the elder. Sakallah, shalom, elder, shalom, brakatham to you and your household. I can start in just 1 second. Shalom. There. This one's going. I don't know about the sound is pretty good too. Past few days I've been having kind of issues with my audio, but I don't know if the sound's good. Shalom to the sis Rebecca Ophir, shalom. Brakatham to you and your household. All right. All right, come, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna face the east. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahah, Hudash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor, teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim, you hope for elect. On the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice, according to Romans 12 and verse 1. Shalom to you sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, brakatham, and as always, Habab Abal. All right, back on the highway and hedges to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as America. All right, Nineveh, Assyria, ancient Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, the revival of the Roman Empire, which is soon to be destroyed. So as the title says on the video, prophesy against the mountains. All right, a few things I was inspired by, last night with the brethren, and a few things that we were talking about, pretty much gave me some, gave me some thoughts. All right, so I'm about to get started. Just 1 second, bear with me. Bear with me 1 second. Get here. Started the book of, it said prophesy against the mountains. And the mountains, as I get into it, Lord willing, it ultimately goes into what governments. So when we see nations say something as far as along the line of summit, that word summit actually goes into what governments. All right, so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28. And let's start at, let's start at verse 6, but verse 8 and 9 is the point. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, and verse 6. Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen, the Lord do so. The Yahweh, even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen, the Yahweh do so. The Yahweh perform thy words, which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Yahweh's house, and all that is carried away captive. Now, ultimately, in this book right here, in context, in Jeremiah 28, it's speaking about us being carried away to ancient Egypt, meaning, the Israelites. But ultimately, we can apply that to today as well, because America is the revival of a lot of these ancient kingdoms, not just Rome, but Babylon. All right, because they call what the daughter of Babylon is the revival of a lot of ancient kingdoms. All right, there's a lot of similarities with America and the ancient kingdoms of old. Yahweh performed thy words which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of the Yahweh's house, and all that is carried away captive from Babylon into this place. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. All right, so the same way the Most High, Yahweh Shai, used Jeremiah to prophesy the downfall, all right, the same thing that the Most High is using his men today. The scriptures are written aforetime, is written for our learning. All right? Nevertheless, hear thy now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. All right? Prophesied both against many countries. And that's the same thing that we are doing now. When you will see a prophet in the ancient world, Bob Gashai, one of you brother can grab it for me, should be book of 1 Samuel. All right, when a Samuel came, a lot of people got nervous because when you will see a prophet or a seer, that usually meant that what? There is a coming judgment. The same way when we go to the book of Genesis chapter 3, where it said that they heard the voice of the Lord in the cool of the day, that represents what? A prophet coming to you and reading out your judgment. Shalom to the brother Shaquat. Shalom to the brother Angel Padilla. Shalom Malachium Brakatham to you and your household. All right? So Bible Shah, let me see if I can find that real quick. Should book of is that 1 Samuel? Bear me 1 second. See if I can find that. If I can't find this, all good. This should be it right here. Yep, this is the book of 1 Samuel. Shit, crazy, man. Salakia. Yep, this is 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 4. And Samuel did that which the Yahweh spoke and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, comest thou peaceably? Let's read it in NLT. So like you got some wild shit going on out here. 1 Samuel 16 and verse 4. So Samuel did as the Yahweh instructed. When he arrived at Bethlehem, the elders of the town came trembling to meet him. What's wrong? They asked it. Do you come in peace? Because they understood when a prophet would come on the scene, you know, there will be what? A coming judgment that's getting ready to happen. Now we got a lot of people that are in a very slumber state and they don't see what's going on. Although you got war brewing and you have had men of the Lord on the highway hedges for many, many, many years telling you of the coming judgment. But it's all fun and games until all hell break loose. So this is the book of Jeremiah 28 and verse 8 again. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right, and all that goes to what? Danger. Okay, that's what the Most High is coming to do. That's why he said that what? Don't think that he come to bring peace in the book of Matthew chapter 10, 34. Right? Also it says what? Woe to you that wait on the day of the Most High. Because a lot of people don't understand of how the Most High get out. All right? The Most High is known by what? Judgment. So let's drop that. Let's go here to the book of Romans chapter 9. Okay, it said that what? The prophets of old prophesied both against many countries. The same way Moses, all right, and his brother Aaron did when they were going against Pharaoh. Okay? So this is the same thing that's going on right now. The modern day pharaohs will be represented by the, you know, like the prominent Edomites. And this is ancient Egypt all over again. Revelation 11 verse 8. So this is the book of Romans chapter 9. Whew. Let's start at verse 11. All right, we're gonna read on down. Go to the judgment, but I want to get a heading of it. Because as the title of the video goes into prophesy against the mountains. So once again, these mountains, it's attributed to the top Edomites, Amalek, right, Babylon the Great, and also to our own people as well, to tell them of the judgment if you don't get in line. So this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 9. We start at verse 11. Make this point. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Adonai Yahweh according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So ultimately, you can't make yourself, right, chosen by Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai. And we just read there's not of works. It's who the Most High deems to receive salvation. Is also to the Most High if he deems you to receive damnation. Let's continue on. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Because we understand that what? Esau came out first. Jacob took the heel of Esau. So that's why it said that what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. In the book of 2nd Hedges 6 and verse 9. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And this in the New Testament. That a lot of people love to say the Most High loves everybody. So the Most High loves everybody. Why is he saying Esau? And it's just not speaking about that. It's just not speaking about Esau, all right, the actual, Esau, but ultimately his descendants, his offspring. Okay, for Esau is, matter of fact, let's read it again, put it in context. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So like I was saying, it's just not speaking about Esau, but the offspring as well. Check this out. This is Genesis. Salaki. This is Genesis chapter 36 and verse 8. Genesis 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So Esau is Edom. Okay? The same way Jacob name could be interchangeable with what? Israel. It's the same thing. All right? So the Most High is only dealing with the offspring of Jacob and only the elect of that on this side right now. And the Most High actually hates all Edomites, so-called white men. Okay? The Caucasians. And the chief top Edomites is Amalek. All right? The small hats, the big nose peoples. The Israelis. That's who the Most High is chiefly against. On down to the rest of the Edomites. This is Romans 9 verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. Most High can do what he wants. Okay, as we continue to read on down. How can a vessel say anything to the potter? All right, the Most High is the potter. He designs everything. So who can say anything? If the Most High deem you to be wicked, it's going to be what it's going to be. All right? What shall we say then? Is there righteousness with the Most High? God forbid. For he said to Moses, Mashah, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. So the Most High choose to have mercy on whom he please. Okay? Look how the Most High has shown mercy to many prophets that had done, great wickedness. Look at our forefather King David, committed adultery and put a man to death. Right? Apostle Paul was putting a lot of believers to death, but the Most High deemed Apostle Paul as righteous. Okay? So it's ultimately to the Most High to show mercy. All right? Can't no man say that you wicked. All that is by the will of Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai. And shalom to the big bro Ario, shalom malak brakatham to you and your household. It said, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then, it is not of him that will it, nor of him that run it, but out of one Yahweh that showed mercy. Because that's what it boiled down to. You can't make yourself of the elect. You can't make yourself, you can't force the Most High to show you mercy. That's not how this goes. All right? You got to be chosen from the foundation of this earth. Before the foundation of this earth. Right? Being a part of the election, being part of 144,000 to the rest of the multitude, the 1/3. All that's by the will of Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai. For the scripture, here's the point. Romans 9 verse 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. And this Pharaoh can be attributed to a lot of these prominent Edomites, all right, them that are in chief top positions, all right, not, the peon regular Edomites, they're barely getting by. I'm speaking about the small hats, the ish peoples, the wannabes, all right? Those are the top people that the Most High is coming back for, on to the rest of the heathens. Because the Most High said that what in the book of Exodus, chapter 17, that he would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And that still applies to this day. Even for the scripture have said, what scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. All right? How beautiful is it that the Most High raised up a particular nation just to destroy it, to show his power. Ancient Egypt was looked at as, couldn't be touched. All right? Same thing applies to the, same thing applies to ancient, the ancient Roman Empire. All right? Many kings of old, but all the kings have failed. Right now, a lot of people can't even fathom America falling. And America is likened to ancient Egypt, which represents what? Bondage. Just read that again. In the latter, even for this same purpose, have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Right? And that's the Most High's name being what ultimately, popularized all over again. Because a lot of people don't know the true name and fear and dread of Yahweh Bashim al-Shad. But they're going to find out very, very soon. As it says in the book of Psalms 119, 126, it's time for thee, O Lord, to work. Okay, it's time for the Most High to show his ancient judgments as he used to. All right, because, for a period of time, the Most High has allowed for wickedness, to go on. Okay, the same thing incarnately, how when you go to a restaurant, you build up a tab, you got to pay for it. Well, ultimately, the Most High allowed for Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathens to build up their tab, for ultimate great judgment. Okay? It said, therefore, have ye mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden, that thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? No one have resisted the will of Yahweh Bashim al-Shad, regardless if it's on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. All right? Even when, stupid ass shit, man. Okay? Even when you get vexed and frustrated, ultimately, if you're a true man of Yahweh Bashim al-Shad, you cannot resist the fire of this word. As it says, when Jeremiah got, vexed, okay? It said that the Most High word was, in him like fire. And then same thing applies to them on the left-hand side. If you are deemed to be wicked to the 2/3 of our own people and the rest of these heathens, then you're going to play their part. As it says, who have resisted his will? And the answer is no one. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me dust? All right, because like I was saying, the Most High is ultimately, the potter. Okay? So the Most High ultimately, gave the blueprint for this place, Babylon, to be built. Just as we just read in the book of Romans 9 verse 17, for him to what? Destroy it, as he did in ancient Egypt. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? One unto honor, the true believers, the true Akim and Akwapium. They're actually seeking, the Most High. And then you got them that are designed for what? Dishonor. 2/3 of our own people, and also the rest of these heathens. Okay? So we got here. Check the comment boards. Let's see. So like, bear with me. So I get this. 1 second. Okay, so let me read this once again. All right, I'll make this quick point once again. As it says in the book of Romans 9 and verse 17. Okay, then we're going to dive into those mountains. This is Romans 9 and verse 17 once again. And right here we see that Apostle Paul is quoting from the Old Testament. So the Old Testament and New Testament still applies for the, these wacky-tack Christians that don't understand that. This is Romans 9 and verse 17 from the top. Let's read it in the NLT. For the scriptures say that Adonai Yahweh told Pharaoh, I have appointed you for the very purpose of displaying my power and you, and to spread my fame throughout the earth. Right? And it starts off with what? The Most High sending his men on the highway in Hedges. As I just grabbed in the book of Jeremiah 28 and verse 9. The prophets had prophesied of old, both against countries, around kingdoms, of pestilence. We go to what? Danger. Okay, so now let's go to here. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. Right? Ezekiel chapter 35, we start at verse 1. Give me 1 second. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35, we start at verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. And Mount Seir, I just read it, but I'll read it again. Mount Seir represents who? Esau, Edom. So right now, that place that Esau, Edom is running is really speaking about right here in Babylon the Great. All right, because this is the top place of the Edomites. All right, they the actually ones that are what, that are in control. Start off with Amalek. So the prophets are doing what? Out here to prophesy against Mount Seir. And also to our peoples as well. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 8, to show who is Mount Seir. And also verse 9. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So it's not speaking about, necessarily, let's pass by, Mount Seir, that should be over there by Jordan, but primarily right here in Babylon the Great. Okay? Because this is the top place of the Edomites in America. And it's not hard to tell. This is the top place for what, the alphabet, for the alphabet peoples, right? For the murder culture, which starts out with, the Edomites, with a lot of nastiness. It's right here in Babylon the Great. And also in our homeland that's ran by the gutter rats, man. Genesis 36 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus said the Yahweh Most High, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. The Most High is against who? Mount Seir. The Most High is against Amalek, on to the rest down of the rest of the Edomites, the so-called Caucasians. Grab this from the brother. The Most High is always going to be against, the Edomites, as we're going to continue to read. Yep, got you. Let me finish this. And say unto it, thus said Adonai Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. All right? And I will make thee most desolate. But we see over there in Mount Seir today, let's pull that up. It's still, being visited, right? People still live over there. So what is that speaking about? They're speaking about a future prophecy that's getting ready to be applied to Babylon the Great, aka America. Let me grab this real quick. Yep. It says Mount Seir still exists today. However, it is known by its Arabic name, whatever, rather than being a single mountain. The name Mount Seir refers to a mountain region stretching from the Dead Sea, which lies between Jordan and Israel. So people still are, living over there. People still inhabit over there. So what is that speaking about? It's speaking about a future prophecy right here in Babylon the Great, aka America. Right? Let me grab it from the brother. Give me 1 second. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. I'm going to go up on that. That's heavy. All right. And first and foremost, coming out of the ways of Babylon the Great, it starts off with the mind first. All right. Freeing yourself from the mental shackles. As it says in the book of John 8:32. So let me start up on that. That's a beautiful precept. Right, start up on that just a tad bit. This is Revelation 18 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried, mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So that's the coming doom of Babylon the Great. All right, which also can be, compared to what Mount Seir, because this is the place where the Edomites dwell at. All right, this is the top place for the Edomites right here in America. Foul of every unclean, hateful bird, for all nations have drunk of the wine and wrath of her fornication. Speaking about what? Those philosophies. Okay, so when the Most High, let me jump up just a tad bit. So when the Most High destroys Babylon the Great, after a period of time, then you're going to have, wild animals only live here. This place is going to be ultimately wasted. All right, it may be weeks, years, however long the Most High had this place going up in smokes. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, and to start off with what? First and foremost, us being sold as slaves. All right, the southern and the northern kingdom. Okay, we were the first commodity. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. So like I was saying, coming out, first and foremost, it starts off with what the believers right now, John 8 and 32. My truth shall make you free. So it starts off with the mind first. All right, get yourself cleaned up mentally. And then eventually, whenever that great day happens, the great day of destruction and the great day of deliverance, then that's when you eventually, come out of literal Babylon. But it starts off with what? The mind first. Freeing yourselves from the shackles of the philosophies, all right? Of the things that your America has taught you. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Okay, because as I'm going into, the title of this video goes to what live, goes into prophesy against the mountains. So the Most High is literally coming to what? Destroy these mountains. Mount Seir and also our peoples as well. Right? A lot of jakes got to be put down, man. And those plagues are going to start with what? First and foremost, Jacob trouble. You're going to have famine. All right? You're going to have diseases. And to top it off, the Most High is going to allow for these missiles, which is likened to his army, to be shot off. from all countries that have nuclear capability. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. As I said, a little bit earlier, all the Most High is doing is allowing for these nations, all right, and 2/3 of our own people to build up like a tab, all right, allowing for them to, just pile up wickedness, to bring the great hammer on them, to bring the great judgment. So no one's getting away. As it says, you reap what you sow. For her sins have reached unto heaven, meaning what? The wickedness of these Babylonians, of these American people. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. So the Most High has not forgotten about the enslavement of our people, the genocide, okay, and many more things. All right, all the hate and perpetual hate, for Jakes. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double to her double according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double. All right, so you got a heavy judgment that's getting ready to happen. You thought, the tribes, caught it. All right, the 12 tribes caught it. How much more so Esau and the rest of these heathens? Yep. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 6 from the brother Ariel. For wickedness have exceeded and polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, so like I was saying, the Most High just allowed for them to go ahead and build up that spiritual tab, to bring the great hammer and the great judgment. So it's beautiful. So the water. So back to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and we start at verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Yahweh. So the Most High coming to do what? Lay these cities waste. Lay Babylon the Great, right, Mount Seir, down. So let me grab this, bear with me. Bear with me 1 second so I can find it. Bear with me 1 second. Where's it? Isaiah. Where's that at? So I can find this. If I can't find this all good, so I can find it. Bear with me 1 second. Yep, beautiful. It's all good. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah 34, start with verse 1. All right, because it said that what? Coming to bring, great judgment. Come to lay the cities waste. So we start Isaiah 34 in verse 1. We're going to read on down. And it says, come near, you nations, to hear and hearken. You people, let the earth hear. So like I was saying earlier, before judgment takes forth, the Most High always, send prophets, all right, to warn you of the coming doom. Come near, you nations, to hear and hearken. You people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation, meaning what? Wrath of the Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. All right. So this is what we are. Coming into. All right. All out mass destruction. Which will go into what? The third woe. Right. World War III, which is vastly approaching. Right. Trump speaking about going over there to run. Okay. Started conflict with Venezuela. Right. And a lot of these countries are allied with Russia. Okay, so eventually Russia is going to have to jump in. So this is very, very, beautiful right here. So let's read this again. For the indignation of the Yahweh is upon all nations, and that is still, and that applies to Jakes as well, right? That applies to Israel as well. And you're not getting away. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass. All right? So you have piles of dead bodies in this great third woe. Meaning what? World War III. That's, once again, that's vastly approaching. Although, you know, it's brewing. Okay, so you got many, you know, people going over there in the Middle East, around Saudi Arabia fighting. And also you got war taking place over here. That's called what? Jacob Trouble. There can be, you know, in-house fighting. Okay, people warring against each other, fighting. So when we see movies like The Purge, all right, and different movies like that, all that is doing is just showing you, right, of the coming doom that's getting ready to hit in America. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Now this is going to what? The ICBM missiles. That's going to be what shot off. That, you know, and that once again could be applied to what? The army of the Most High. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, like a great big mushroom cloud. That's to top it all off. All right? So, you know, so, but prior to the missile being shot off, there's going to be nothing but fighting, war. And their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the fig vine, and then as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Here's the point. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is applied to what? Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, because that's what the Most High is coming to what? Judge heavily. All right, everybody's going to catch it. All right, everybody's going to catch judgment, but how much more so Esau, Edom? Double unto her. All right, you know, because why? Because Esau, Edom has shown what? Great hatred, right? To the people of, you know, to the people of the Most High. So all this is going to be what? Laid desolate. So I'm going to grab a little bit more. Woo. Grab an NLT as well. Grab me 1 second, grab a few more on this. This is Isaiah 34. Oh, this is heavy. Let's read the NLT. Idumea is just another Greek way of saying Edom. Isaiah 34 and verse 5. And when my sword has finished its works in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom, the nation I have marked it for destruction. All right, I have marked it. And that mark goes all the way back to the time of Cain. All right, where the Most High gave Cain, you know that mark of leprosy. All right. So Cain has been what? A fugitive and a vagabond, fleeing. All right. You know, declaring themselves as you know, other nations, taking on other nations' identity, which is all good because it's all prophecy. But the Most High eventually is going to show all out anger, righteous indignation unto the Edomites. And when it says, fall on Edom, the nation I have marked for destruction. For the sword of Yahweh is drenched with blood and covered with fat, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat rams prepared for sacrifice. All right, because how the Most High is going to liken this place into what? Like a great sacrifice. And the people is going to be what? Likened unto goats and sheep. As it says in the book of Matthew 25, I may grab it. So the sheep going to be placed on one side, on the right hand, meaning what? Being delivered. That goes to what? The 1/3, 144,000, the rest of the multitude. And the goats on the left. That applies to Esau, Edom, the rest of the heathens, and 2/3 of our own people. So that's that great sacrifice, the great burning, which once again, going to be the missiles and also fire from the chariots. The sword of Yahweh is drenched with blood and covered with fat, the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat rams prepared for sacrifice. All right, so the Most High, how farmers let their cattle get to a certain weight to do what? To ultimately to you know, kill it, you know, for eating. Right, same thing. How the Most High, you know, allow for, you know, these Babylonians, right? Allow for them to get fat. Allow for them to go ahead and build up their tab. Allow for them to, run amok. Ultimately, to bring the great hammer. To bring what? Great judgment upon them. With the fat rams prepared for sacrifice, yes, the Yahweh will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra, which is also a city of Edom. Let me grab that. Yep. Basra, Strong's H1224. It says a town in Edom. All right. So all this is being applied to what? The Edomites, having great judgment upon them. Yes, the Yahweh will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. He will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. All right. And what brought me here? Once again, in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, in verse 4, it said that what? I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Yahweh. And in the NLT said what? I will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. In the latter part of Isaiah 34 and verse 6. So the Most High comes to, Most High comes to do what? To lay this place waste. And it starts off first and foremost with prophesying. All right, with the men on the highway and hedges, chanting down this place, sending up curses. Grab this from the brother. Hey, shalom one to the brother Nathan. Shadow of thy wings. Shalom a lot. Brakatham to you and your household, beloved. Shalom one. Good to see you. Bear me 1 second. Yep, this is from the big bro Ariel. Baruch 4 and verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from out of one Yahweh. It's a beautiful precept. There's one that comes to mind. Man, where's that at? Should be the book of Maccabees. It should be a book of Maccabees where it says, man, where's that at? I know it's the second Maccabees. Should be, man, I'm going to find it. Bear with me. That's a beautiful precept, the water. Baruch 4:25, my children suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from out of one Yahweh. For thine enemy have persecuted thee. And persecute also go to what? Pursue. So Esau, Edom literally pursued us. All right? Genocide, slavery, and now, just being in debt. Being in a bondage as far as, money-wise. Okay? So on and so on. You see. Persecute thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. All right, it's beautiful, man. I'm gonna see how I grab that precept. Bear me 1 second. Man, where's that at? Bear me 1 second. I ain't brought this out in a minute. Let's put the Maccabees up. Hey, Thawadi, how about Shem out shot? Right? Remember 1 second. Yep. So still on the start. All right, beautiful. I'm gonna read this again. This is Baruch 4 and verse 25. It says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from out of one Yahweh. Now check this out. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, all right, and who are the ones that is reading, all right, and really digesting it. That will be the believers. It said, now beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities. Look at all the atrocities that have taken place upon our nation. Okay? So we are not to be discouraged, but we got to understand what? But that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. All right? Like a chastening. You know, like in the world, your father may spank you or whoop you to get you in line, to correct you. That's all Yahweh Yahushua is doing right now. Okay? Not for destruction of our nation, where we're not going to be uplifted again, but ultimately to put us back in fear and correction. So let's read that again. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. So we can see right here that that the curses that apply to our nation does not, happen, or has not happened as of yet to to those Edomites. All right, this is only speaking about what? For our nation, right? So this proves that we are the people signing the curses.
What's your TikTok? I would like to watch.
I don't do TikTok. This is YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, if you got YouTube, you can get on though.
What's your YouTube?
It's in Hebrew. I had to type it in. It's Z8.
What are you streaming about?
Preach about the Bible. Yeah, so that's my TikTok. So that's my YouTube right there.
Okay.
Yep. What's your ethnicity by chance?
I'm a Baptist.
Baptist. I mean, like, what's your pops? Your race-wise?
Slavic.
Slavic.
Like Russian.
Russian. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, this is some goofy Edomite, whatever. Hey man, could be a Jake. But the point is, either way, regardless if you a speckled bird or you are actually an Edomite, the point is, if you're not in line, most I can bring judgment on you. All right, goofy. Second Maccabees 6 and verse 13. Yeah, like I was saying, the chastening of our nation. So we see how we would have to be those peoples. As it says in the book of Deuteronomy 28, these signs. All right, being on cargo slave ships, being sold. Who does that apply to? That applies to us. Now these heathens, like I was saying, it's going to happen to them as well. Because as I just read in Revelation 18, double unto them. And also, Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7, the curse is going to fall right upon them. All right? But right now, we see who is the people. By the signs. All right? By the curses. So this is 2 Maccabees 6 and 13. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. All right? But punished. And we see that how now we have been what? Chastised, punished, but how much more so when the Most High uplift his people. We're starting off with the elect. So I'm going to go back here. Baruch 4 and 26 from the Big Bro Ariel. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. All right, these curses, sold, auction blocks, right, genocide, being removed, so on and so on. Verse 27, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Adonai Yahweh, for you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. So ultimately, we can see that, it wasn't by the will of man that overtook us. It was that the Most High allowed it, allowed for it to happen, right? Because there's no way, weak ass Edom, weak ass Esau could have just took down Jake, and the Most High didn't allow for that to happen. Okay, so all this is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. As I just read in the book of 2 Maccabees 6 and verse 12, not for destruction of our nation, but ultimately for us to get what? Chastised. All right, for us to as they call it today, for us to get like a spanking, right? A little beating to get us back in our right mind. So it says, be a good comfort of my children, and cry unto Adonai Yahweh, for you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For it was your mind to go astray from Adonai Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. All right? So that's another reason why we are ultimately in this land right here. As it says in the book of, let me grab it. Let me grab it here. Bear with me 1 second. Give me 1 second. It's at first. So I can find this. Damn. Hand got cold. Slack it. Yep. Ah. All right, here we go. Yep, this is 1 Kings chapter 8. Let's start verse 40. We start verse 43 and we'll jump on down. All right, make this quick point that the Most High pretty much put us in his land, all right, for captivity for us, the true believers, to bethink ourselves. All right, which also goes back, to that chastisement, us going rough ways. 1 Kings 8 and verse 43. Hear thou in heaven, thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger called to thee for. Meaning what? Scattered Israelites. For that all people of the earth may know thy name to fear thee, as do thy people Israel, that they may know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. If thy people go out to battle against their enemy, whatsoever thou shalt send them, and shalt pray unto the Yahweh toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house that I have built for thy name. So that's why, real quick, side note, that's why you hear brothers say we're gonna face the east, okay? Because that's where Jerusalem is, all right, the east. So you'll face the east and you give all praises. Continuing on, then hear thou in heaven, which is the throne, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their cause. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives, and to the land of the enemy, far or near. All right, so that could be also applied to what? Going rough ways, as the big bro put in the book of Baruch. Where's that at? Yep, Baruch 4 and 26. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Meaning what? Being enslaved, being scattered, all the tribes. So it says again, if they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives into the land of the enemy, far or near, like going on rough ways. Those are the curses that came upon our nation, which is, like I was saying, and these curses that Jacob is up under is going to fall right on our enemies, all of them. Verse 47, yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captives, and repent, that only applies to the believers, to the true, sincere Akim and Akwathium, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned. And who is doing that right now? Like I was saying, the brothers, all right? Them that are on the highway and hedges, or them that are truly sincere believers, okay? Because not everyone's called to be a teacher, right? But but ultimately you are trying to trying to seek the approval of Yahweh Shem Shai, and to the Akwats as well, okay? That carried them captives, saying, we have sinned, and that done perversely, we have committed wickedness. Okay, so all of us have committed wickedness, but what's going on right now? We are seeking the approval of Yahweh Shem Shai. As it says in the book of Baruch 4, 28, for as it was your mind to go astray from Adonai Yahweh, all of us went astray. So being returned, seeking him 10 times more. So that's what we are doing, seeking the Most High 10 times more. All right, begging for forgiveness. Okay, that building up our spiritual bank accounts. All right, doing all what we can do now to give ourselves a shot to make it. All right, so let's end on that. That's beautiful. Psalm 27, verse 8. When thou said, I'm gonna grab it here, make it so I can see it better. Bear me 1 second. Psalm 27, verse 8. When thou saidest, seek you my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Yahweh will I seek. And that goes to what? Ultimately, this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding. Okay? This scripture comes to mind. Bear me 1 second. To prove about that face, go to the knowledge. Spare me 1 second. See if I can find this. Man, where's that at? That should be it right here. Salaki, so I'm grabbing it. So grab it in NLT. That should be it. Should be Book of Numbers. All right. Give me 1 second. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 6, and verse 24. And it says, "The Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. The Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee." All right, and that goes to what? That gracious goes to what? To seek favor, to seek to show pity, right? So that's what So that's what the believers are seeking. And it says, NLT, may the Yahweh smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Yahweh show you his favor and give you peace. And that peace, we understand the true comfort comes by the way of this word. All right. So that shining his face and all of that, all that goes into what? That peace, the comfort, the word. Right. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. Now chastening for the present seemeth it to be joy. Salakia. Hebrews 12, verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. It's very bitter. All right, it doesn't feel good to be catching judgment. All right, but ultimately we understand that the things that is most bitter is ultimately the best for you, if you can receive it. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruits of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So them that are, so them that can take chastisement, that can be chastised, take judgment, and approve from that, then ultimately what? The Most High is going to work with you. As it says, wisdom had walked with them in crooked ways. Okay? So catching hell, catching judgment is all good. Right? And that's the best way to show who is real and who is fake. When you catch what? Adversity. Right? So it's good there at the water. Right? So I'm going to finish off a little bit of this. Go into a little bit more of the mountains. I started off with the mountains, prophesy against the mountains, against Mount Seir, which is Esau, Edom. And mountains, as I started off with, mountains can go into what? Governments. So we are also, supposed to be doing what? Prophesying against the mountains of Israel as well. And we're gonna do that, and we're gonna tackle that in the book of Ezekiel 6. See where I want to start. All right, because 2/3 of our own people are not gonna get away. Let's start the book of Ezekiel 6. It's a short read, so see where I'm gonna start at. Yeah, we'll start at verse 1 on that. Yep, this is from a big bro Ariel, Ecclesiastes 8 verse 1. Who is as the wise man? And yep, beautiful. And who know the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh it face to shine. All right. So like I was saying, with the big bro posted in Psalm 27 verse 8, that face, all right, and that shine goes to what? The wisdom and knowledge. It says, who is as the wise man, and who know the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. All right. And it says righteous is going to stand in what? In great boldness. And why is that? Because you have the word. When you have this word, you are not in fear of anything. Okay? Because you understand that there's a great reward for standing, as it said in the world, standing 10 toes down for Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai. So that's beautiful. So the water. All right. So let's grab this, and that'll be pretty much it. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 6, and we're going to read on down. So like I was saying, you know, I'll start off with Ezekiel 35, where it said, prophesy against Mount Seir. Mount Seir goes to what, you know, the Edomites, which is predominantly, you know, talking about right here, right now, Babylon the Great being wasted, but how much more so, you know, for our people as well. Because, you know, Jake may think and know that he's an Israelite, but ultimately, you're not rehearsing. So you know, so you're just a nigga that knows that you're Israelite. You know, just be playing with it. Okay? So this is Ezekiel 6 and verse 1. And the word of the Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward the mountains of Israel and prophesy against them. So yes, so this actually happened, all right, in you know, in ancient time. And we understand that Israel was taken down by the Babylonians, you know, so on, many times. Babylonians, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, but how much more so right here as well, okay? 2/3 of our own people are not going to get away. They have become just like a chocolate-covered Edomite. You know, a lot of Jakes act just like a so-called white man, act just like a Edomite, wicked as all hell. So we are to prophesy against them as well. All right, to tell them, you know, to do what? Repent or perish. Let's read this again. Son of man, set thy face toward the mountains of Israel and prophesy against them, and say, you mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Outer One Yahweh. Thus said the Outer One Yahweh to the mountains and to the hills. Hills represent what? Smaller governments. To the rivers and to the valleys. Behold, even I will bring a sword upon you, and I will destroy your high places. All right. So the things that, you know, a lot of our people trust in, it's going to be destroyed. Trusting in Babylon the Great. Okay. Trusting in all things. Lock it. Bear with me. Trying to get adjusted. You know, so trusting in Babylon the Great, as it says, you trusting on the staff where it pierced you, loosely paraphrasing. You know, trusting in Egypt, should we go Isaiah 30? All that is going to crumble, man. It said, behold, even I will bring a sword upon you, and I will destroy your high places. Okay, so the Most High coming to do what? You know, to pretty much take down these people as well, 2/3. Right? It's a scripture come to mind. Let's continue on. And all your altars shall be desolate, and your images shall be broken, and I will cast down your slain men before your idols. Right? And why is that? Because you trusted in other gods. You trusted in things of things of naught, things of nothing. So the Most High gonna bring what? A great destruction upon you. Right? Trusting in idols, trusting in your religion. Right? All the different you know, Christianity denominations, Muslim. So call on those gods and see if they can save you. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Right? So call on and see if they can save you. Grab it here. Because the Most High going to cast down your bodies right here in Babylon the Great, since you trusted in it. So none of our people can say that they wasn't warned. This message had went out to the four corners of this earth. Regardless if you've seen brothers on the highways and hedges or not, I guarantee you saw it. How's it going, brother? Right? I guarantee that you've seen it on TikTok, you've seen it on YouTube, whatever social media platform. This is the book of Judges. Oldie but a goodie. Judge chapter 10. And verse 13, yet you have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which you have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And it's not going to happen. Right? So when we see ancient times of the Most High actually, delivering all of Israel, we see how that played out. They was whining and crying, speaking about they don't go back to Egypt for cucumbers. So that's why, so we already done been there, done that. So now the Most High has approved that. That's why they're going to be a remnant. Go and cry to the God which you have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. See, you calling on these other gods, right? Whatever gods out there, Allah, whatever. And the children of Israel said unto the Yahweh, we have sinned, do unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, and we pray thee this day. All right. But ultimately, the point there was made. Right? Call the other gods and see what that, deliver you. Because once again, all have heard the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, or Yahweh Shai. So let's continue on. And your altar shall be desolate, and your image shall be broken. Now cast down your slain men before your idols. So there coming what? A great destruction, a day of gloom. So woe unto these people that wait on the day of Yahweh Shema Shai, and you are not sincere. But whoever think that the day of the Most High is light, is out of their minds. Even for the elect, it said that the righteous shall scarcely make it. So that's how terrible that great day is. But it's necessary. This is Amos 5 verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Yahweh. That's all caps there. To what end is it for you? That's a question. The day of the Yahweh is darkness and not light. Because the Most High coming to do what? Not bring peace. It's going to bring what? Destruction, division. Okay? So that's what Yahweh Shai is coming to do when the Heavenly Father unleashes him. Right? Great judgment, as in the days of old. The Most High has not changed. So when we read stories about Noah, Moses, all right, and the four, nothing had changed because the Most High does not change. So what happens is a lot of people have become drunken, meaning what? Drinking on that Babylon juice, following the philosophies of men, and now they actually believe that the Most High is just all soft, right? They got him, they got him looking like a hippie, got him like he doesn't bring judgment. You can do what you want, which is quite the contrary. Ezekiel 35 verse 5. And I will lay their dead carcass of the children of Israel before their idols. And I will scatter your bones round about your altars, written in NLT. Meaning what? Once again, a great slaughtering. Not only to Esau, Edom, but also to Jacob as well. It says, NLT 6 verse 5, I will lay your corpse in front of your idols and scatter your bones round about your altars. Wherever you live, there will be desolation. Wherever you live, there will be desolation. So we see how Jake loved to trust in America's way. And I just grabbed it where Mount Seir is gonna be what laid desolate in the book of Ezekiel 35. Mount Seir is like to what which is also called Edom, and that and that really applies to what Babylon the Great right here in America. So what Jake trusts in America is gonna be what? Destroyed, man. Hey, shalom to the brother Yeshaya, shalom malak brakatham to you and your house. So good to see you. It says, wherever you will live, there will be desolation. Because you trusted in what? Egypt. As a matter of fact, if one of you brothers can grab it for me, trusting in this broken staff where it pierced a man's hand, loosely paraphrasing, should be the book of Isaiah, is it 30, is it 33? Bible shot, one of you brothers grab it for me. Wherever you will live, there will be desolation, and I will destroy your pagan shrines. Your altars will be demolished. Your idols will be smashed. Everything that you trust, all these religions, just to sum it up, all these false gods, right? Everything about the way of Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to go out. As it says in the book of 1 Corinthians 7 and 31, the fashion of this world going to pass away. Everything going to be, everything going to be destroyed. You're going to know in that day the true dread and fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, that he's not to be played with. Be demolished, your idols will be smashed, your places of worship will be torn down. These little harlot houses, what they call, these so-called churches, all that, hey man, all that gonna be a thing of the past. Got Christmas trees, had Christmas trees in them, right? Decoration. They got Cedric Bozier in the background somewhere. All that gonna be smashed out. It's gonna be demolished. Because ultimately it's nothing but mockery. It's a joke. All the religious objects you have made will be destroyed. Let's see if I can find it. Bear me 1 second. Should be Isaiah 30, 36, like I said 33. Ooh, that's heavy. All right, I'm gonna grab this, because like I was saying, they trusted in what? In the ways of Babylon the Great. And the Most High said that wherever you go, he's gonna make it desolate. So since Jake is all into following Esau, Edom, all right, as it said, as Yahweh told them, you are of your father the devil. So like I was saying, Jake is no different than the Edomite. He's a chocolate covered Edomite. All right, the wicked is all hell. Hey, throw out to the brother Yeshaya. Throw out him a lot. Let's grab this. Woo. This from the brother Yeshaya, Exodus 15 verse 3. The Yahweh is a man of war. The Yahweh is his name, and the Most High has not changed. He's still a man of war, right? He just allowed for this place to bring out all their wickedness, to bring the great hammer and the great judgment upon them. For the Most High to show his as I read earlier, for the Most High to show how he's not be played with, all right? To bring more fame to his name, shall I say? We go to the book of Romans 9 verse 17. Isaiah 36 and verse 6. Hey, the water, that's what I'm thinking about. Lo, thou trustedest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. All right, and like I was saying earlier, Egypt can be likened to what? America, bondage. Revelation 11 and verse 8. Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So to all our people that trust in a place that has been deemed for destruction, you are a fool. Especially, there's, as it says, right, the voice that went out to the four corners of the earth. What else? If he had not come, there be no cloak for their sin. So all have heard. All right, there will be no excuse in that day. Lord, thou trusting the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, trusting in America's military. You trusting in the so-called white man, your daddy, to come save you. Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. And pierce it. Meaning what? It's a thing of naught. It's gonna go right through. And also, if you can hear it out, all right, if you can digest it, that also could be applied to what? To that charagma, all right, to that little grain of rice. Because that's what it's gonna boil down to, being pierced, all right, being sea-hipped. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Pharaoh, all right, that could be applied to what? A lot of these prominent Edomites, Amalek. The real one that, that is actually running America, Babylon the Great. To all that trust in him. Okay, so it's going to be a thing of what? Naught. So the water. So a little bit more in the book of Ezekiel 6. And that'll be pretty much it. Ezekiel 6 and verse 7. The place will be littered with corpse, and you will know that I alone am the Yahweh. So this is the Most High. This is all caps. That, you know, that's the Father speaking. So he's going to send out his son, his right-hand man, as they say in the world, you know, to do what? To go ahead and destroy. Because this is the will of the Heavenly Father. Right? And the place will be littered with corpse, and you will know that I am the Yahweh. But I will let a few of my people escape destruction, and they will be scattered among the nations of the world. All right? And so that's what, you know, ultimately what happened. You know, we were scattered. But ultimately, the Most High is still going to save what a remnant. Okay, that little cluster of the great. So all is not going to be destroyed. Meaning what? 1/3 is going to be saved. 2/3 are going to be destroyed. I'll grab that, and then that'll be pretty much it. So as the title of this video goes into, prophesy against the mountains. So I start off with the mountains, starting off with Edom, and also to our peoples as well. So none of these nations is going to escape. Even the nation of Israel. So let's grab that, and that'll be pretty much it. Let's go to the book of Zechariah 13. Going to what? That remnant. See where I want to start at. Oh, man, it's heavy. Zechariah 13, verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, said the Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh of what armies. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. So smite the shepherd, sheep shall be scattered. There could be a liken to a lot of these, you know, different camps. All right, because you know you got true, sincere believers, elect members that may be a part of these different camps. All right, but ultimately, you know, it's gonna be of the will of the Most High to bring them for that. Okay, so smite the shepherd, right? Many camps. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That that true, you know, Akim and Akwathium may be following right now, but it can be the will of Yahweh Shema Shah to bring them out of that. So it says, awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow. The sword could be what like to judgment. Said the Yahweh of hosts, smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. All right, here it come. And it shall come to pass, then all the land, said Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. All right, 2/3. So that's what the Most High is coming to do. You know, put down a lot of our people, and they're gonna be by way of what? Jeremiah 30 verse 7, a great famine. All right, martial law, so on and so on, warring against each other. And it shall come to pass that in the land, said Yahweh, 2 parts there shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire. Okay, because ultimately going through this fire, this was like to what? Adversity, as I grabbed it earlier, going to what? That chastisement. A true believer is actually going to stand with all the hell they are catching and come out like gold. Now we'll bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. The Most High said that what? He's going to hear them, not 2/3, man. Only the 1/3, right? And 144,000, that will actually be likened to like the gold. 1/3 will be likened to what? The silver. You know, there's a order of things. All right, but ultimately it's all the, you know, but it's all the elect. So let's read it again. In LT, I will bring that group through the fire. I will make them pure. I will refine them like silver and purify them like gold. They will call my name, and I will answer them. I will say, these are my people, and they will say, Yahweh is our power. All right, but it starts off with what? The elect first, being called the people of the Most High. As it says, the Israel of God in the book of Galatians 6. Right, because not all Israel is of Israel. Although they, you know, Israel by, by bloodline, seed line, lineage, but they are not in their right state of mind. right, so let's drop this. Grab a few more, that'll be pretty much it. Bear with me 1 second. Let's go to the book of Job 23 and verse 10. Okay, go into what? Coming out, being in that fire, coming out as gold. This is Job 23. We go straight to the point, verse 10. And when we go to the book of Job, we understand that the hell Job was catching. When I say hell, I mean a certain condition. Job 23 and verse 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he had tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Meaning what? The Most High bring judgment upon you. Right? Being chastised. Being, what they call in the world, like a spanking. Okay? And all of that is for the betterment. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he had tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Because this is the best way to prove what a man really is. Is he real or is he fake? All right? As Alazar like to say, cosplaying. Right? Is he real or is he acting, cosplaying? Right? So that's it on that. Grab this from the brothers. That'll be pretty much it. In the water. For all you Aki in the hot dawn. Dropping precepts and adding to the edification. The water. This is Exodus 9. Salakia. Not Exodus 9. Psalms 19. Salakia. All right. And you may hear certain people call this the, certain brothers may say this the, what's called? The internet scripture. All right. So this is Psalms 19 and verse 4. Their line is going out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them have he set a tabernacle for the sun. All right. So like I was saying earlier, there's no one that can say they have not heard it. Some way, somehow, you have heard it, or you actually came by a camp. So you may have heard it, by TikTok, that little young Edomite came, whatever, talk some TikTok. So you have seen it on TikTok, YouTube, whatever social media platform. Psalm 19 verse 5. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber and rejoice as a strong man to run a race. All right, the bridegroom, and we understand the bridegroom go to who? Yahweh Shai. Coming out of his chamber, rejoice as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circle to the ends of it. There is nothing hid from the heat thereof. All right, let's grab a little bit more in that. Because we understand that Yahweh Shai is coming to do what? To deliver the elect. And also to bring heavy judgment. Let's start at Psalms 19 and verse 1. Start a tad bit. This is a Psalm of David. It says, the heavens declare the glory of Adonai Yahweh, and the firmament show his handiwork. You look into the stars, the moon is very beautiful to see. Day unto day utter speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Meaning what? We're not giving Yahweh by Shema Shai rest. Okay? Matter of fact, let me grab that as well. This is Isaiah 62. So no matter what time it is, we are not to give Yahweh by Shema Shai rest. Isaiah 62 and verse 7. And give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So it said once again, day after day, NLT, Psalms 19 and verse 2, day after day they continue to speak. Right? Brothers at all times is doing the work. True, sincere Akim. So it's so on this side it's night, right? Over across the pond could be daytime, but we continually, doing the work. Videos is continue going out. All right, the Most High got this thing in perfect rotation. Day after day they continue to speak. Night after night they make him known. All right, because ultimately we are magnifying the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. They speak without a sound or word. Their voices never They speak without a sound or word. Their voice is never heard. Yet their message has gone throughout the earth, throughout the four corners of this earth. That's why we see things is picking up more and more and more. Because the coming destruction cannot happen until all the elect is sealed. Revelation 7. Okay? Yet their message has gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world, and not just by coming out on the highway and hedges, which is a commandment from the Heavenly Father and the Son, but also the internet. Okay, that did a great lifting, right? Because you had the elders of old from 1969 with Elder Bivens, right, to the apostles, but how much more in 2007? Okay, when YouTube came on the scene, right, and this thing has flourished to 2026. All their words to the world, out of the way, how has made a home in the heavens for the Son. All right, so this is it there, but so that was the point, all right, that the truth has went out to the four corners of this earth, right? So once all the elect is sealed, then ultimately what? A great destruction is going to happen. So that's beautiful. Psalm 19 verse 6, going forth is from the end of the heaven and circle unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. All right, so there'll be nothing hid. Pretty much if you deem for destruction, then that's going to be what it's going to be. Shalom to the brother Yahweh Zah, Shalom Malak, Brakatham to you and your household. All right, so with that, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to give all praise and praise to East. I'm going to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Wahah, Wadash. On his beat to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim, you hope for elect on the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice, according to Romans 12, verse 1. Shalom to you sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, as always, a Bible ball. On to the next. Shalom, Ratizah, be back at it. Right on the highway and hedges. Shalom to the sis, Rebecca O'Fair. Shalom to big bro, Ariel. Shalom to the brother, Kabashana. Shalom to the brother, Yahweh Zah. Right? The water for all you Akim for dropping precepts added to the edification. The water, Shalom to Wabla Yalah.